So what I have here is a 5.5 millimeter wrench, and it seems to be the closest fit. It's interesting. I think actually the nuts might be a little larger than they're supposed to be, because it didn't work with Sunfounder's wrench, and I couldn't really find this one is kind of loose. I couldn't really find a metric or US, I'm sorry, not US, but imperial inch type wrench that fit it perfectly. Anyway, no worries. Okay, before we tighten this down, you can see my bracket slipped out here, so we need to get that back in place. Also, make sure that the wires are not like behind this bracket or lodged underneath the motor or anything. Make sure they're nice and loose like that. So we'll just tighten this one down a little bit because we still got to put the other one in. And let's make sure we can get that in. And this is always tricky because this is so close to the chassis, so we're going to set it on there kind of loosely. You can see it's a little cockeyed. That's not good. So we need to get it started on the thread. I'm just going to kind of hold it in place with my thumb. Turn this backwards first. Okay, see, now the nut slipped in place, and then I'm going to turn it clockwise. Good. Yeah, another good reason to have these wrenches is because that nut driver will not fit on this bottom nut. So now you want to kind of tighten these down pretty good because they're holding the motor in place, and you don't want the motor flopping around while you're driving around. But you don't want to, super 1 million muscle power tighten it either, because you can crack the motor case. And actually, this is the motor, this is a gearbox, so when I talk about the motor, I'm talking about this whole assembly, but they're really two different parts. Yeah, and here's another bit of advice. See this plastic, clear plastic bracket that the wires are strain relief to? That holds the motor into the gearbox. So sometimes you want to make sure that bracket is in good condition. You don't want to melt it with the soldering iron or with the heat gun or anything. Otherwise, if it pops off, you'll never get the motor back in. So now I'm going to mount the other motor, again with the wires pointing in like this, and we'll take it from there.